Hi friends, this is DJ Kit Kat here at Crumbs and Whiskers in Georgetown. I'm with my friend Baloo, who has a little cat cold, and my friend Fairlight, who's sitting in her favorite box. And I'm gonna show you all about what Crumbs and Whiskers is, and you get to see some very fun furry friends. This amazing cat cafe is a great opportunity to pet and play with cats, so they're all up for adoption. Now we're going to take a look at each individual cat that is currently at the Cat Cafe. Lead hostess Janelle Beeman is going to introduce us to all the furry friends.
All right, awesome. So this right here is Bing. He really loves the little sparkle toys that we have. He's super playful and he'll jump on the scratch posts. And then this is Salome. Our little lady here does not have a tail, but she doesn't let it stop her at all. She's super crazy, loves to run through here. Then we have Chubbs, our desk manager. He likes to talk and try to get into the back rooms. Then we have Nala here. She is a super sweet lady who actually does not like the other cats as much. So she normally spends a lot of her time off to the side somewhere. Then right here we have, I believe, Mr. Baloo. He is our cuddly boy, and so a lot of the times you'll see him cuddling. Then we have Miss Bailey, our chunky girl here. She loves these little crinkle balls. Then we'll make our way this way. We have Tippy here. He is one of our longest cat residents. Super, super playful, but him and the other cats get into scuffles sometimes, so he likes to kind of sit off to the side, and then when everyone's asleep, he wakes up. Then we have Miss Poppy here. Super, super sweet lady. She's one of the older kitties. She's about 4, but loves to play. Then we have Miss Fairlight here. She is one of the kitties from Thailand. Super playful, loves to wrestle all the other kitties. Then right here we have Juno, who is loving on the catnip banana, but he's a super sweet boy who likes to give headbutts. Then over here, just another long-haired gray kitty, Sasquatch. He is super sweet. He also likes to try to get into the back room, but he also likes to play as well. Let's see. We have Zura. Oh, who just fell out? So this is Zura here. I just woke her up from her nap on accident. She spends most of her time cuddling in laps and kind of staying away from the other kitties. And then we have Mr. Pillow. He is a playful boy. As you see, he's watching the toy. When he first got here, he did not want to come out here until he saw the toys. And so it made him really comfortable seeing those. Then make our way this way. Inquisitive lady, would you like to get up? This is Inquisitive, a staff favorite kitty. She is so sweet. She will run right over to us when we call her and give us headbutts. Then we have Miss Suzuki, this white and black kitty on the stair here. She is a very cuddly lady and is one of the cats that you can actually pick up. I would say in general, a lot of our cats don't like to be picked up. So when you find one, it's always a cat we like to highlight. Then we have Miss Bluebell here, this gray and white cat. She is crazy. Loves to run around, chase the other cats, wrestle them, and then she likes to bat at all the toys. But then, like, when she's sleeping, she's super, super accepting of pets, and to the point she might even wake up and, like, come over to you, rub up against you. And then right next to her, this mostly white kitty, that is Fenor. He is also from Thailand. He is super playful, loves to wrestle all the other kitties, and he has a close connection with our store manager, so she'll call him, she'll be like, and he'll run right up to her. Super happy boy. Then inside this cat tree, we have a black and white cat. His name is Patty. He is the most misunderstood kitty here. He's super big, and so he tries to wrestle the other cats, but because he's so big, they get scared and they run from him. It makes me feel so bad. He's actually my favorite. But then we have our chunky lady, Cammie. I actually didn't think she was gonna come out. So she is very shy. She doesn't really come out here as much, and so we're very happy she's just out here now. Super sweet girl. I mean, we'll roll over on her back. You could even give her belly rubs sometimes. But she really likes the toys, as you can tell. And then we have Tori here. This is her favorite toy. So, super playful lady. She likes the stick end. She normally is super playful. She likes the back end of sticks. And so I can tap it and she will run across the room. And then I think we have one more cat to meet. So this is the litter box area where the kitties use the bathroom. So last kitty is Mr. Pluto. He's one of the newer boys, so he's a bit shy. So he'll hang out back here and come out every once in a while. He likes the catnip bananas and to play.
Now we are going to learn more about our awesome host.
I am originally from Iowa City, Iowa. I came out here to go to Howard University. And I just got my degree in political science. This is like my first time in a big city. I really like cats, of course. Favorite animal, and I really enjoy hanging out with them. And I also really enjoy listening to music as well. Going to concerts, kind of my vibe.
I am originally from California, actually. I moved out here to DC about 2 years ago just for fun. My job at the time was remote and I just had the freedom to go anywhere, so I moved out here. I'd never been to the East Coast before. And then I left that job and I wanted to pursue something that I would actually enjoy, so I came here. To put it simply, it is a cat cafe. People come in to pay to hang out with the cats. For longer appointments, we offer food and drink as well with our partner bakery. And the main thing is that people just hang out with cats, they help socialize them, and they help them get adopted.
I always say it's a place where people pay to hang out with cats that are all available for adoption. And so essentially you're helping socialize rescue cats. It's definitely to get the cats socialized and adopted. And I've seen some really good socialization go on here. I've seen cats who have been completely frightened of us, in litter boxes, scared. Of course, we don't know what happened before they came here. And then they come out here, they're sitting in laps, they're playing. And so you just see the evolution of a cat here. I think the most important part is the socialization. Because in shelters, they're in cages, you really don't get to see that. Their full personality. And here we get to experience that.
The main goal is to get these cats homes and permanent homes, because a lot of them are owner surrenders or they just had rough lives on the street. What I always tell people is that I get paid to pet cats and talk to people. So my main responsibility as a store host is to just be in here and informing people about all the cats they're interacting with, telling them their backstories, and just talking them up.
So most of the time, my thing is just making sure the whole floor is good. So making sure cats are good, people are good, the hosts are good. And one of the big duties I have is making sure all the cats are okay. So we do health checks on them every day. So we'll check like eyes, nose, ears, mouth, all that good stuff, just to make sure they're healthy. And so because sometimes they'll get like cat colds, and we will notify our partner rescue, and that way we can get them on meds, and so it doesn't turn into everyone gets a cold at the same time. And so we make sure we do all that, take their weights and stuff. And then we also get to feed the cats. That's my favorite part. So we feed them wet food twice a day, right before we open and then right after we close. And then dry food is like all throughout the space.
I usually find myself on opening shifts, and we start opening about an hour before we open to the public, or an hour and a half before we open to the public. And I come in, I assess the damage the cats have done the night before, and I started cleaning up the space, sweeping, mopping, and then I set up all of the nice furs and pillows we see out here right now. And I just try and make the space look pretty and as clean as possible for the people coming in.
I like to open mostly. So what I would do, I'll come in, and as I'm walking down the stairs, there's gonna be like 10 cats standing at the window looking at me. So I come in, feed the cats. We do wet food first, because most of the cats do eat wet food. Then we'll do the dry food and water bowls. And then this is either the best part or the worst part to some people, the litter boxes. Mostly after that, we're pretty much good. So we'll open up, we'll let people in. We don't have more than 14 people at once. And so if there's only 2 of us here, I'll be on the floor mostly chatting. And then once another person gets here, I like to jump on health checks. That's my favorite thing to do. I love like weighing the cats. For some reason, it's so satisfying getting a successful weight, because cats like Chubbs here literally will not stay on the scale. And so when I get it, it's like the most satisfying thing.
7.78, good job.
But I'll jump on health checks and weights. And then once that's done, we'll do a few cleaning things. We'll clean the litter boxes at some point. Do the food and water bowls again. We do that right in the middle of the day too. We just kind of play with the cats, show people how to play with them, describe their stories and their personalities as well. We pick up all the little pretty stuff and put out little cat beds for them, and they have free range of the whole place. So we don't know exactly what they do. I have sat in here one time waiting on like a ride, and I'll see them like running through here like crazy. I know they definitely wrestle each other. But sometimes I've seen trash cans knocked over, you know, just doing their little night owl stuff.
Whatever happens in the cafe at night stays in the cafe at night. There's like kind of a hierarchy going on here. I'm sure all of the cats think they run the place, even though none of them do. So I imagine there are a couple like fights that go on. I'm sure there's a lot of play wrestling that goes on, and they just get into mischief.
They expect to pet kitties that will be nice, and you will always have that here. Now sometimes they do expect to pick them up, and that's when it gets kind of tricky, because sometimes we'll have tons of cats people can pick up. Then other times it's only gonna be like 2 or 3. And so if those 2 or 3 are taken, then it's like, oh no. And so we have to do things like putting Poppy on a pillow, passing her, and then she'll sit on the pillow, and it's like you're holding her, but you're not. But also it does depend on the time of the day. We always tell people if they want a cat that's awake and playing to come at 11 a.m., right when we open, or right before we close, because that's when they wake up, because they need to sleep like 16 hours a day. So they will go to sleep by 1 o'clock.
They should expect to see more cats in one space than they've probably ever seen in their lives. It really depends on what time of the day they come in. We have a lot of people who come in like the middle of the day, and they're like, why are all the cats asleep? Because they're cats.
So right when we come in, 9:30, they eat. And then they start zooming around, chasing each other, wrestling each other. And then we open at 11, and so that's when we bring the toys out. So they'll start playing, jumping through the air, all that good stuff. And then once it hits like 12:30, 1 o'clock, 90% of the cats are sleeping. Mostly in a little sun area, but sometimes in these little cozy spots as well. And then from then, you may see like a few cats, like earlier how I was describing, like Tippy, he'll go to sleep immediately. And then once all the other cats go to sleep, he wakes up and plays. So you'll see a few straggler cats up throughout the day, but mostly it's gonna be them sleeping until like 5:36. Then they wake up, get the zooms again, they're playing all over, and then they eat dinner at 7:30.
So I've been obsessed with cats since I was a child. Like I read the Warrior Cat series when I was like in elementary school. And I have a cat back home in California. I've had him since I was 8 years old, and he's still alive. He's about 17 now. And they've just always been a very core part of my life, I'd say. And I just love how silly they are, and how independent they can be. And I also feel like when a cat chooses to like you, it feels even more special, so.
I've had cats growing up my whole life, so I'll start there. First of all, it's just nice to have a companion with you. And dogs, I'm not to do this cat-dog debate, but dogs are just a lot more. And cats, like, they know how to be separate, but with you at the same time. And I really like their purrs, they're very healing. They're easy to take care of as well. I think that's another thing. So our Partner Rescue Homeward Trails, they bring us all the cats. So they would be the ones like scoping out who's gonna come here. And so most of the cats have lived in a group setting before. So whether that be in a shelter where there's a big community room, a foster home where there's a bunch of cats, a surrender who was in a home with other cats, something like that. But they'll make sure they have their shots, they're spayed or neutered, chipped, all that good stuff before they come in here.
So we're partnered with the Rescue Homeward Trails. They source all of our cats for us. A lot of them are owner surrenders, or a lot of them just came from shelters from the area. And some of them are just strays or feral cats that happen to be friendlier than other street cats, and they just come to us.
So normally they are between 6 months and 2 years old. More recently, they have gone up to like 4 years old. But oldest cat we've ever had is 10. And then the youngest is 5 months that we know of.
So all of the cats come to us with names. Occasionally we'll get like groups of cats that have a sort of overall theme with them. Like we had 2 cats a while back that were saved from a hoarding situation. And they were saved in a group of 10 cats total, and they were all named after beans. So the 2 cats we had here were named Kidney Bean and Navy Bean. Occasionally we do get to name cats that come to us. Like for instance, we had a cat a while back that was in the shelter at the time. Her name was originally Morticia, but they already had a cat named Morticia in the shelter, so we decided to name her Wednesday.
So most of them actually already come named. I think since I've been here, we've named 2 cats. But let's say, like in a foster home, if there's like a litter of kitties, the foster will name them. And so most of the time they'll do like a theme. So we've had Star Wars cats, Secession cats, DC Marvel cats, and they're all siblings. But mostly their Partner Rescue will do it. So a bonded pair are 2 cats that hang out together all the time. Most of the time it is siblings, so they've grown up together and just been around each other all the time. But it's pretty much like 2 cats that can't live without each other.
So bonded pairs mean that they're basically a package deal if you want to adopt them. One can't live without the other pretty much. A lot of the times they're just siblings that we see like playing together a lot or just hanging out with each other. But other times it's cats that have gone through like very big experiences together. So for instance, we had 2 female cats a while back who gave birth to a litter of kittens at around the same time, and they helped each other nurse their kittens and everything, so they were a bonded pair for sure.
Inquisitive. Inquisitive is a Disney princess. She's like the sweetest girl ever. And all Disney princesses are sweet. I think she knows that, but she doesn't let it get to her head. And so she's not sassy.
I only just met Zura today, but I want to say Zura because she was really going up on your bag and just claiming it as her own. And as you can see now, she is just passed out, so.
Well, the cats would say Patty. I wouldn't say Patty. It's probably Nala. She is not like the other cats, and at dinner time, she is letting everyone know to stay away from her. So she will do the little growls and swats. So personally, I think Nala. For the cat's sake though, they're gonna say Patty because he's too big and they don't want to play with him. But he's just trying to play. He's like just the misunderstood one.
I really think it is Patty. I know Janelle was a little bit biased. But Patty is just kind of a menace to the cats. Not intentionally, I'm sure, but he is just kind of a menace in general. He also knows how to open the doors in our cafe, which I think is a little bit troublesome. A lot of them, it really ranges. Like Tori over there is just in your bag right now. Like she's always getting into things. A lot of the cats here are just very calm, I'd say, but I think being in an environment like this can get them hyped up for sure. It's just so cat dependent. Like some of the cats are very sassy, some of them are just very like ditzy and clumsy.
So, okay, we used to have a big neon sign that was on the wall over there. I saw a cat jump up there and walk across it. And they did it multiple times. It wasn't like just like they did it one day and stopped. They did it all the time. And I'm like, it's like a very thin, like, it looks pretty similar to this, very thin sign. And they walked across it. I was like, okay.
So a while back we had a smaller kitten around 6 months old. He was asleep on that very top step up there. And he rolled over in his sleep and just fell down to the platform below on some pillows. And he kind of just looked around drowsily and just fell back asleep.
So there's always like something to make you feel better. If you're having a bad day, I can pet a cat. I'll feel better. Or like I'll get cuddles from them and be like, okay. Like I'm upset, but I have a cat here with me.
Despite Baloo cuddling up in my lap, my favorite cat is actually Bailey. She's just so funny, and she loves playing catch with that little crinkly ball. So if you just throw it at her, she will just chase it around the cafe or just try and catch it in her paws, and it is the cutest thing.
My favorite cat is Patty. I am obsessed with Big Cat. He's very long and very tall, and I don't like that he's misunderstood. And I actually think he'd be good with my cat, so I want to get him if I can at some point. But I also like, he can be a little bit sassy sometimes. He just very much is in his ways. And I really appreciate cats like that. Just because I know when people are going to look for a cat, they always want the cuddly, small, cutesy one. And I like the literal opposite of it, just because I know how disliked they can be sometimes. Crumbs and Whiskers is such a fun place to come. It's so nice, even if you don't even pet the actual cat. It's so fun just to even watch, just to see how they all interact. All the cats are different. They all have different personalities, different quirks, different ways of playing, and it's just so fun. And if you ever do come here, definitely like ask us like, oh, how does this cat like to play? Don't shy away from asking us stuff. We love talking about these guys. We know them so well. So well.
Crumbs and Whiskers is an awesome place. If you're not sure about cats, or you've never met a cat before, or you think you're more of a dog person, definitely come to Crumbs and Whiskers, because we have converted basically any type of person that has walked through our doors.
Hi friends again. I hope you enjoyed watching all about Crumbs and Whiskers, and make sure you come down and take a chance to see it. I'm going to put all the details on the next slide so that way you can know exactly where to go and when their opening hours are. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Say bye.